What a beautiful backdrop, Gustavo Cabana. Or should I say, Gustavo Hector Garcia Cabana Rojo.
Yeah, exactly. I have always too many names. I tend to use only Gustavo and Cabana, but then I have Hector and Garcia, and for traveling, they ask me for all the names. And when I get my Spanish citizenship, they add my mother name, Rojo. That might have 5 in total. But normally, I'm Gustavo Cabana. I have enough with 2, you know.
Yeah, Gus is good for me.
Yeah, perfect.
Are you in Imperial Brava now?
Yes, we just came from Brazil, spent 3 months there. Here, when they start to open the things, we just come back. Now they close a little more, but in theory, in a few weeks, we're gonna be open full the travel condition. No, let's see how this year. We need to be patient in this time.
Yeah, we do. How was it in Brazil, Gus, with the COVID? Was there any problem for you or not?
No, actually, we were in the south, in a beach places. We didn't skydive. We are just relaxing and training. And enjoying life. No? We need some. The good thing about the COVID is, when in my case, I've been like 30 years full non-stop, and then the 7 months I spent stop last year was really good for my health, my mental health, my body, and the good thing I have time to review all what I did in my 30 years of camera flying, which is very interesting, no? To go back and see all the events I did and all the people I met. Very interesting.
And you produced your new website as well, Gustavo Cabana.
Yeah, I used to have a website, pretty basic, with Flash Weaver or something I did in 15 years ago. But I always wanted to do it, and the situation was perfect because I have the time to go through. And the thing with the website, the idea is because you shoot a lot of events for 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and for you it's another event, but maybe for the people who was there, was a memory super valuable for them, because later they quit skydiving and they and I always want to put in somewhere where the people can go back and see, you know, and not only watching in the phone in a small size, they can go in a proper computer. See the pictures in the way, no, much nicer, no?
Yeah. Well, Gus, I mean, you have been filming a long time. You've done some incredible events. So just one thing that I would like to mention is that you've been there capturing 4 of the biggest world records, and that's the FS 400 way, the head down 168, the head up 84, and the canopy formation 100 way, and no other camera flyer has been there on all 4 events. That's an incredible achievement.
Actually, for me, was like I wouldn't say natural, but I always wanted to shoot everything, you know, and I always did whatever it takes. So that, for example, I traveled to other countries with no money, just to try to follow the people who do that discipline, to learn from them and start shooting. And over time, they invite you once, then invite you another time, and then normally the organizer want to have people who know, who worked before with them, and to don't have surprise. That's why when you shoot one record, I shoot all the canopy records since 2002 until 2007. The formation was since 99 to the 2006, which is the biggest one. And free fly was more difficult for me because I started late to practice free fly. Actually, my club, they're free flyers in the 90s, but for me, I can afford back then. I was full into belly. And with the wind tunnels in 2011, I started to invest in tunnel time and flight camps. The flight camp for me is a tool which is the best tool, because you learn from people who are teach you in small groups. I think that's the key for me. I did a bunch of camps as a participant, and then start to shoot them.
When I was there in Imperia, and I saw your focus and energy you put in. You're in the tunnel a lot. You were working hard to develop this new skill, to get yourself to be at the top of it, to be able to film it. What a commitment.
I think it's because over time you develop for me, it's not just shooting something, no? It's like you are flying the camera, no? You are like something follow the action, but you didn't think about flying. You know, you are thinking all the time where the camera gonna be. You want to be there and put this angle, and then your body need to follow. I think that push you a lot to learn, you know, because you want to be there, you want to do that. It's not like you need to go there and grip, which is something stressful, you know.
Yes.
The people, I always admire the people who do the records, you know. Okay, if I'm fucked up with the camera doesn't work, okay, there's other camera files in a record who can shoot the record. But if one person in the record didn't make the right grip, there are no record. I always feel bad for the people who under that tension, you know. I have tension too in the record, but it's not that much responsibility, you know. And for me, free fly, it feel like all the years I shoot all the other disciplines was to get to free fly, because the free fly is a more free. You can do whatever you want. It's more artistic. You can be in other disciplines. You need to be on top or below or whatever. You can't be moving around because the people need to be, you know. But free fly is more creative and it's harder. And still learning. You never stop learning free fly because, for example, in the 7 years I've been shooting fly camps, every time a new organizer bring a new thing to do in the air, and then you need to learn how to shoot that, how to make it look nice, you know. And it's cool. It's super cool because it never ends, you know.
Yeah. Well, it all started back in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Born in 1968. Took your first photograph when you were six years old.
Yeah, the thing is, I was very lucky because my mother was a photographer, amateur, but she was very passionate about. She did a lot of travel photography and the family, and always wear cameras at home. Now it's very common to have cameras. Not everybody has camera in the phone, but in the 60s and the 70s, not everybody has photograph and 35 millimeters camera and shoot pictures. And my mother used to do slideshows. No, he go to Europe, to talk Ektachromes and things, come back home and show us the family, the big picture. And I was like kid, and I was wow, you know. That's, I think, influenced me a lot. No, I started to. I always had camera at my disposal. I said, I started shooting at 6. We went to some visit with the school, and we were black and white square pictures, you know. And then started photography when I was 16. I have a very good teacher in Buenos Aires, and what happened is, okay, I have a technical knowledge, but you need to be passionate to what to shoot. I tried shooting musicians because at that time I was playing myself. I do some weddings and things, which is I hate, you know, but I was trying to do things. And then I quit. I sell all my gear. And then when I started skydiving, what happened to me is, at that time it was only 4-way. I had my ton suit, no, the radio, 4-way, but it was too much pressure for me to shoot, to remember the formation and things. And in my class was a VHS recorder with the camera. And one day I put it up, which is a recorder here. Nobody wanted to do it because it was kind of painful. No? And then that day when I was jumping with them, but outside and looking, and that was like a click. Everything was into place. And from then on, I don't think I will be skydiving if I do camera, actually, because it's hard, this sport, not to keep it jumping. No, the sport changes, your friends stop, and then, but with this passion, it's kind of, wow, it's never ending. I also love to shoot tandems, because tandems is, you still feel the happiness of the first time jumpers. Normally when you shoot the experienced jumper, they are all okay, experience, cool. But when you see the happiness of the first time, it's still amazing. And also what happened with the tandem, you are alone with the tandem. You need to be careful about someone coming from below and hit you, and which is like normal jump. You're always looking what you're shooting, but you need to be aware all the time what's happening. It's not like you're shooting and you are, you need to be careful. With the tandem, you can do whatever you do, practicing and be current, which is very important. No?
So when you started filming the 4-way with that equipment, the recorder on the front and the camera on the helmet, a big camera, when did you first add stills? When did you first add 35mm?
What happened is, in that setup has only VHS, no? But then I do my first, of course, I want to do everything, no? I put the small camera with the cables outside, boom, and the video. But imagine, early 90s in Argentina, nobody do that. You know, how you gonna, no internet, no YouTube, no nothing.
Yeah.
What I did was I had to write letters. I asked a friend who translated to English letter to camera flyers in the States. And some of them, they answered me.
Wow.
And one told me, yeah, I still have some of them, I take the letters. Yeah, you remember you write me down, this was very important for me, like 10 years later, and the people, wow. The thing they tell me was, not try to do both things at the same time. You need to do first with the video, because then it's one less thing to do. You learn to fly and then add the stills, And I did that. I did 100 jumps, only video, and then put the stills, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And it's super cool. Yeah, super happy to happen that, really.
It was very early for you in your jump career when you first started. About 70 jumps when you first put the camera on the video.
No, the problem was I did 27 jumps.
Yeah.
At that time, I did like 50 with rounds, no? Round canopies.
Yeah.
And the belly
Me
bar.
too.
Really a lot of school,
Yeah.
And at that time, at the beginning, the only thing you can want is to land in the field, in the airfield, because normally with the round you land whatever, no? And in the jump 26, I land in the pits, no? In the round, with the stones, no? And I feel like, wow, now I know, And the following jump, I tried to land there, and turn late, and I broke my ankle. And that's what I learned. Oh, the canopy, when you turn, land faster. Okay, whatever. I spent 9 months without jumping.
Right.
And the problem with the rounds, after you broke, you need to jump and hit hard again, because the rounds were always hard. It's not like That's stopped me for a while. But then I come back, 40 jumps later, I put the camera, and soon start to travel to Paraguay, to Bolivia, to Bugis. I was ready for going to whatever.
Yeah.
I was very focused, If you're gonna try all the way,
And for the travel, but with your mother already traveling so early when you were younger, she'd been to Europe. How did it feel for you to, first of all, leave the country and go to other places? How did that feel?
The crazy thing is, all my brothers, I'm the youngest. When they were 15 or 16, the parents gave a travel to them, no? One went to Europe to them, I went to the States. And when I was my turn, my father got sick and can't work anymore, and everything went down.
Right.
No more travel, no more nothing. Yeah, this is crazy, because after a while with my job, I travel more than all my family together 100 times, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, like revancha, digamos, no? But yeah. And what I like about the travel was, from the very first time you go to their country and you meet skydivers, and it's like, like a family.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Paraguay with the number of a guy there. Go there, call it. Yeah, I'm a skydiver. Okay, where you are? Okay, boom. They come pick me up, take me home, take me to the drop. So, was like, wow, this is pretty amazing, no? Because at that time, you don't know how it was. Now it's easy to know. When you travel, before, okay, I go there, I go there, I go there. But the biggest travel I did was when I decided to go in 95. I decided to go full time, and I moved to Brazil, because Brazil is a really big market compared to Argentina, no? And spent there a few months. But then, okay, this is only on weekends. I went to jump every day. And then I want to move. I have a canopy event in Atlanta. They invite me. I say, okay, this is opportunity to go. But I don't have any money, no? Because I sold my camera. Wow. And I borrow another one. I buy the ticket to the States, and I went with $300 to the States.
Yeah.
And then a friend borrowed me a van. It's a typical skydiver van. And with them, I moved all around the States looking for a job. I ended in Lebanon working, then went to the World Film Convention in Chicago, and went to shoot sky surf. And for that, the Mecca was Paris Valley. And then I crossed all the country to go to Paris, and I worked there. I started to shoot sky surf, and it was very interesting. It was intense months, and easy to travel back then, it was cool.
Yeah. Before you went full time, what were you doing as work?
I used to be a musician,
yeah.
But there's not much money in
yeah.
that one. but because I did some technical engineering studies, I have a small company and manufacture stuff for musicians, like cases for travel equipment, tripods, and speakers, and whatever. It was like a custom-made stuff,
Yeah.
which is allow me to do it at my time, and I was good money to spend skydiving. It was good, yeah. And I still do some stuff, oxygen system, whatever I need to do. I start and.
No, you do engineer, you think and design things. I remember you doing for the Imperial Challenge. You built all the oxygen system for that.
Yeah, the thing is because I've been in so many records, I'll always see how the oxygen system works. But the thing, working with compressed oxygen is forbidden. Because it's easy to explode. No, you can't get the parts to build stuff with oxygen under pressure because it's not. But the thing is, few years back, I always did a scuba dive, and a few years back I started to do technical diving, which is the kind of diving when you use different mix for breathing. I started doing rebreather diving, which is a very technical stuff. But in there you use oxygen and helium and all kind of gases. And I went to the States to do the course for that, and I learned how to manipulate all that and to what parts you need to buy. In 2011. Stefan Fardel from Babylon asked me to do a oxygen system for the Euro record, because before they have a limit with altitude and they need to go bigger and you need oxygen. And I built for 5 planes there, then for 7 for the challenge. And then we did a bunch of head-up records with the Fly Warriors, and also we use the oxygen system.
Yeah.
Now it's not possible to use anymore because for regulation in Spain, and that's it. But back in the day, we did it. And we did many records, including the challenge,
Yeah.
That was very stressful in particular because I was shooting the belly flyers and they were doing back-to-backs, free fly and belly.
Yeah.
And then you need to have oxygen in every plane for the 2 loads in a row. That was really stressful but okay, it works. You always need some luck, when you are doing stuff.
How did the records start for you, filming the big waves? How did that come about?
I think the first one was in the land with the Brazilians. The Brazilians went to do the records in the land and have Solly Williams and all the guys doing a training camp for them. I shoot my first one in '97, and I really like the atmosphere of records, the commitment to do it, the happiness when it happened. I feel attracted for that from the beginning. But the first world record was Thailand '99, because I met Henny Wigger, which was the head of the camera flyer for the world team.
Yeah.
I met him in Arizona in '98. I was shooting the US Nationals in Arizona, and he was doing the World Cup in Canopy. And I met him, and actually the record is going to be in Brazil. And he always say, okay, I need to put a local camera guy from each country. Right. And because the record is going to be in Brazil, he thought I was Brazilian because I shoot the Brazilian record. I said, yeah, do the boom, okay, boom. And they put me.
Fantastic.
And then they went to Thailand, which is amazing. Thailand was incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody who was there can attest that, which is very magical time for the sport.
Yeah. So you were in the States, you were doing all your things there. How did you get the transition to Europe then? Was it a visit and you decided to stay? Or?
Transition. I moved to Brazil, then to the States, then Argentina, my club bought the Twin Otter, and then I come back to Argentina, spent 2 years there, but I wanted more. And I tried to go back to the States and stay there. And then I was in the symposium, the Parachute Industry Association in San Diego.
Yeah.
In 2001, I was giving a seminar in camera flying, and I met the managers of Ampuria there. And the thing with Spain is all my grandparents came from Spain to Argentina, all 4. When my grandmother was who raised me, and always talking about Spain, we have family in Spain, and I kind of knew I'm gonna go back to Spain. I don't know why, And when I meet the managers from Ampuria, they invite me to come. I say, yeah, perfect. And we came here, and I feel like the same, same language, the same, it was magic. And Ampuriya Brava, because Ampuriya Brava is Ampuriya Brava. It's kind of a very nice place to live, with good plains, with tramontana wind.
So what year was that? When did you first go to that?
Actually, it looks like this year is a celebration year, because in 24th of March is like 30 years of camera flying, and in June it's going to be 20 years, and I moved here.
Wow.
20 years. And I was fun, because at that time Ampuriya was just getting the new twin otter, and that's when Ampuriya started to grow. Before was only the Pilatus dropsome.
Yeah.
And I witnessed all the transition with the twin otter, then about the beach, in 20 years happened a lot of things in a dropsome. Every dropsome changed over time. No, I've been in dropsome in the States 15 years ago, and then you go now, and it's a tandem factory. Okay, sorry. Although they change hands, it's a very hard business, the dropsome owners.
Yes. And you kept in with the music. You still play guitar, yes?
I started playing guitar, but my hands started to get big when I was a teenager, and I started to play bass. And bass give me much better, because I tend to be like more,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't play it much. It's like, for me, it looked like it's when I focus in something, because I was crazy at music and playing, like I was now with camera, I was playing all the time in the school, when I grow up, I record, and I a little bit of professional playing for singers, and that's shitty jobs. But then I start skydiving, and everything goes to second thing. But I always listen to music. I'm like a music freak. And what happened with the music, I can tell you how I started with the music.
Yeah.
I was 72. My parents came from Europe and bring the cassette player. Remember the cassettes? Which at that time was, before was the two play. We didn't have a tape machine before. And then I came from the school, and then what it is, I always be like touching everything technical. I always know. I don't even read the manual. I don't even know what they say, but I trying to play, and was hard. Was a Grundig, a German.
Right.
They are not a button. And then I find out you need to turn, and I turn, and I start to play, "Love, love me do, and I just blow my mind.
Right.
And I start to be free with the Beatles from 6 until forever,
Yeah.
And normally at that age, you listen to kids' music, And I was going to the school with my Beatles record, and and never come back. Was like, music is music, skydiving, love, all what we need, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And talking of love, that's something which has been a big turnaround for you in the last few years. I mean, since I've been with you, this is all your life has changed around dramatically with somebody new in your life.
Yes, I was very lucky, actually. I always was lucky with my partners, I would say.
Yes.
But Mariana was very interesting the way we meet, because she came here alone to do a weekend jump was in the País Vasco. And he came a weekend here, and was a weekend with 16.5, with the planes going to 16.5.
Yeah.
And she went there, coming from a dropsome, from a Cessna dropsome, kind of Ampuriya, going in a plane, and 16.5, she went crazy, And I was there, and I get up to my home, and I sit there, listen with some headphones, and drinking my beer, which is a strong beer. Nobody drink it, but
which one?
Boldam.
Boldam, yeah.
Okay.
8.4%.
Wow, look. And I need to ask her, what you're listening to, and she was like reading a book. Okay, another. She didn't want to, but then she passed me the headphone. I was listening to AC/DC.
Wow.
AC/DC, and with Bon Scott, with my favorite singer, and then we start talking, and I asked her, she had 40 jumps, and I asked her why she jumped, because there is someone can say, because I like the adrenaline. Okay, no. And she told me, no, because I'm passionate with skydiving. I said, for me, and in Brazil, when you say passion in Portuguese, it's very,
Yes.
And for then on, was she spent 2 weeks there, not 2 days in Ampurias. And then we traveled together. We tried to get to all the events. She packed for me. She's a machine.
Yeah.
And she also did my videos because I'm more focused in pictures to edit, and videos is a long time process. And she got very good taste in music.
Right.
I was really fortunate to have her in my life.
That's amazing. That really is an amazing story. Yeah.
Really,
really is. So all this time, 25,000 jumps now, and you've still got your passion. You're learning new bits all the time with your free flying, like you said, with new organizers. Every time you're going to learn new bits. You still love it as much as ever.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I thank Free Fly for that, really, because it's never ending. I tell you before, you always can. For example, when I shoot the head-up records, also you can exit the plane and go head down and then head up. And no, I wanted to have all the frame in one. I don't want the horizon to move around, and I need to learn how to exit to keep the frame, and going up, and it's always a challenge. I think the thing is having a challenge in life when you do something, because you are repeating yourself always. Of course, on one day you're gonna be, this is boring. I want to do other things,
Yeah.
And also, of course, I love cameras, and cameras is also other things who never end. You always a new camera, and new software, a new thingy, a new something, like this setup for for conferences. I know because I have this because other thing I did always was teaching people to fly camera, no?
Yes.
My courses and things. And now I want to do it online, because it's super cool, because people can come, don't need to come from somewhere, and you can do it online.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm putting together all the setup to have to be able to show videos and photos and having all professional,
You're always developing, always improving yourself, always pushing yourself. That has to be your legacy. That's what you always do, and that's why you're still at the top of your game.
Yeah, that's the key, I think. Never stop. Yeah.
And health and fitness, you work hard on that as well.
Well, the thing is, other thing that happened last year was start to have of course, you can expect to do 25,000 jumps and your body be like 20 years old. I can tell you something. My wife is a physical trainer, She's a specialist, was a professional volleyball player in Brazil, which is a big thing. Yeah. The first time I came to Brazil, to Ampuria, and see the work of the tandem master, landing every time. Wow! She asked me like very, the empresa, the company give trainers for the employees, to be able to do that kind of. Here when one tandem master break, they put another one. They are not the conscious in physical training skydiving.
Yes.
And I think that's start to change slowly, especially because skydiving start with belly. You can have a big belly, an arch, and do your thing. But free fly is strong. You need to be it's not like if you are not strong, the wind is gonna, because you are flying super fast. Yeah. And I think slowly they're gonna change. And after that jump last year, started to have a little pain in my back, and now I'm training like serious,
Right.
I train and I fly much better, If you have the opportunity to have a personal trainer who know your body, it's not like you go, okay, let's go to the gym. You go to the gym and they tell you, okay, do the machine. No, it's not. Everybody is different.
Yeah.
Someone needs to follow you and look after you and tell you, no, you do this, you do that, you do that. And I was super lucky to show up Mariana in my life, and actually she allowed me to keep going physically.
Yes.
It's not gonna work. It's gonna be like happen to I know so many people over the years who are the top competitor or the top organizer, and then you meet him a year later, and he was like, no, I have too much pain. I can, and for me, feels terrible. You know, when I listen to them, I say, oh, fuck, I don't want that to happen to me. You know, because imagine. One thing is, okay, I don't want to do skydiving anymore. I don't care. Other thing is, you want to do it, but your body, no. That's the other thing. It pissed me off is when the people had injured under canopy. You know,
right?
It's supposed to be, for most of the people, the best part of skydiving is free fall. No, free fall is the real thing. No, gravity. You go like fast. You go, and then you need to land. You know?
Yeah.
I'm from an era where the people die because the canopy didn't open or that kind of stuff. But now the people die because they do a fucked up with the canopy, and you know, and that's always, I hate that.
You know? Yes.
Because you are missing the fun or up there to some. I understand, no, it's good to fly the canopy. Maybe because I broke, no, in the 27 jump and stopped me for jumping for 9 months. I don't want to happen that for me anymore. I want to be up there. The landing, okay, it's necessary to be able to go back there, you know. Yes, please, people, take care with the canopy, you know.
Especially after big layoffs with COVID coming back now.
After the COVID was terrible. The people I know who was injured and died.
Yeah.
Because you can have two canopies different, you know, one slow and one fast. No, people was only one canopy. Yeah. And they don't size and get the real Ferrari, and then you need to use that after a year. And man, and also the thing is, people see the professional skydivers jumping the little teeny parachute, but they're jumping every day. You know, the normal people don't jump every day. Maybe they're 1 month without jumping, and then they need to jump that little teeny chute. And like, man, why? To show enough. If you really like swooping, okay, it's a discipline, dedicate to that and get coaching. But just for landing canopy and showing off is the price is too high.
The price is too high. It is
too high.
The egos writing checks the body cannot cash.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gustavo, that's a great place to leave it. It's been a fantastic catch up with you. You look great. Your studio looks great. And it's good to see your smile and hear your story.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you to do this because I was checking the other people you interview, and it's super interesting because there are people you know for many years, but you didn't know the history.
Exactly.
And then you listen, that's why. That's cool.
Because we never get time to spend half an hour together. We're in between lifts. Hey, how are you doing? I'm running to the plane. How are you doing? See you tomorrow, beer. You don't get time to do this. Exactly. But I'm going to go before Zoom kicks us out. But Gustavo Cabana, thank you, my friend. You take care.
Thank you. See you soon.